Okay, let's take a look at the car's interior. There's a tiny bit of scuffs right there, but I mean, it's very, very small. The door panel is in really nice condition. Door sill. There's a few, scuffs here on the black plastic trim piece, but still overall pretty good condition. There's a few little scuff marks right here as well. There's the buttons for the memory seat, the trunk and the hood release, your power seat buttons there. There's a few little creases on the leather, but nothing too major, just normal wear and tear. The steering wheel does have a little black scuff mark right there. And there's a little scuff right there by the keyhole. And then when you view from the driver's side, you can see some scratches here on the parking brake lever. This area of the center console is probably the most scratched up part. There's a few surface scratches. The good news is once you sit in here or once you put the parking brake down, you can't really see those scratches anymore. Okay, looking at the passenger door. Again, it's in really good condition. Not really any marks or scratches or anything to note. This sill plating is a little bit nicer than the driver's side. Not quite as many scratches or scuffs. There's one right there. There's a little indent on the seat there. There's a few little, folds, but nothing too major. There's a little bit of scratches on this side too. The good news is on the center console, it's very, very nice. There's, barely a scratch or mark. To nitpick, there's a little scuff right there and a little scuff right there, but that's really about it. The dash is in, almost like new condition. The good news about the phone mount right there, if you don't like this, you can easily take that out. You just pop off this little cover. There's like one screw in there, and then you can take that out, basically return it back to original condition. This piece here is the cigarette ashtray. And this is the center console storage box. I have a cup holder piece in there. If you don't like that, you could just pull that out and it's just a little cubby hole. It's not very large, but it's a little storage space. But I do find it nice to put the little cup holder in there. Down here is where the switch is for the spoiler. You could raise the spoiler up or put it down using that switch right there. The back of the car is, near perfect. Sorry, I'm trying to not have this glare in here. There's a little, that's just a foam piece or something right there. Okay. Let's take a look at the headliner. The headliner, I think, is a suede material. It's a very nice looking, has like a soft touch feel to it up there. There's barely any marks or scratches or anything back here. Alright, sitting in the driver's seat now. There is foam pieces that blows out of the air vents. That is a pretty common issue with the, pretty much all Porsches and a lot of German cars in general from this era. There's a couple different ways you can fix that. There's plenty of YouTube videos online if you want to look those up. On the dash area, there's really not that many scratches or issues or anything. Down there is the it's sort of like an amplifier digital sound system kind of thing. I've never actually used that. It's got options for different things like classic rock, pop, things like that. Like I said, I've never really messed with that. This is your cassette tape storage. You got the CD player / radio. This works just fine. The light's blinking for the security system. You can pop that open. You could play cassette tapes in there if you still have those. And that, of course, is the climate control. It does have automatic climate control. You got your Porsche stability management button. That's your door lock button and your rear defrost button there. The seat heater buttons are down there. Got your window switches. And then, of course, you have your stalks here for the windshield wipers and washer, cruise control stalk. That is the computer or the display, for fuel mileage remaining, things like that. That's the display. And there's your windshield, the blinker stalk. The lights all work. These sort of circles that sort of look like alien eyes, those are actually, I think, an infrared sensor. So when the vehicle is locked, it keeps an eye in here for movement or infrared movement or heat. and if it thinks that there's a criminal in here trying to steal the car, it'll set off the alarm. I'm pretty sure that's what those things are. And this is your sunroof pop open button. That's your sunroof back and forth. You just tap them once, and the sunroof will open and shut. You don't have to hold them. Nice little touch. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to say. There's just a few little, a few scratches, a few little marks. But it does have the foam particles that blow out of the air vent issue. That, like I said, is pretty common. It can be fixed if you want to. And then, yeah, that's really about it. Oh, one cool thing is that, these cars are, because they were mass produced, there's quite the availability of parts, aftermarket parts, optional parts, things like that. So if you wanted to, you could actually remove this entire cassette tape holder little box here, and you could insert just an empty storage box, an empty container. You could put that there if you wanted. They also have a similar thing for the cigarette ashtray. If you don't like this, you could actually replace this entire thing and have just basically an opening there to store stuff. Of course, the phone mount, So the cool thing is there's a lot of parts out there if you want to, change anything and make it your own. But, yeah. Okay. Just thought I'd show you a few other things that I just thought of. One of the cool things about the interior is on the door, right on the front of the armrest, is that little yellow light. So that light will shine onto the dash area, so that, say, at nighttime, you will have just enough light to see your light switch and the keyhole. It's just barely enough light to be noticeable. So that's pretty cool that, even a car from this era had, a nice little bit of interior lighting, which when I first saw that, I thought that was so cool. But it gives you just enough light on the dashboard to see it, and it's a nice, cool yellow glow. Another thing that's really cool is the memory seats. So let's say that you just picked up the car from the mechanic, he changed the oil, but he moved your seat, and now your seat is in a totally different spot and it feels weird. Well, all you gotta do is hit your memory seat button. You do have to hold it down, and the seat goes back to where you like it. A very nice feature to have even in a sports car. Yeah, just thought I would show those two things.